Welcome to another one of my crystal unboxing videos. As per usual, the shop I purchased these from will be linked in the description below. And it's going to be long enough of a video as it is, considering how much crystals I got here. So let's just get right into that. Alright, the first piece is a bumblebee stone mini sphere. You might have heard it be called bumblebee jasper. However, it's not a true jasper since its banding isn't a microcrystalline, but a fibrous calcite. Its yellow color comes from finely dispersed realgar, which is arsenic rich. And this is why bumblebee stone tends to be pricey. It's due to the fact that there's extra risk in mining this material. It comes from only one place, and I'll put it on screen because I probably won't say it right, so yeah. And I'll just point out that although it does contain arsenic, as long as it's been polished, it's not going to be harmful to you. If you're cutting it and all that, yeah, but if you're doing a lapidary work on this material, you'll probably have an understanding of, precautions and all that. So, but if it's polished, don't worry about it, you're fine. Next is another mini sphere called chiastolite, which is a type of andalusite that has crystals containing cross-shaped inclusions of carbon, which is interesting, and it comes in this really pretty sort of peachy pink coloring and has a really nice shine to it, at least when you get high quality ones. But yeah, just thought it looked pretty cool. So next is this Arusha Moon Sunstone Freeform, which is only found in Tanzania, this type of moon and sunstone, and features really stunning adolescence. That's blue, silver, and this rainbow lattice gold, depending on how you shine the light on it. Moonstone and sunstone is basically feldspar interlaced with orthoclase, and just how it's layered gives off these really cool shimmers, which are known as adolescence. So yeah, I just needed to pick another piece up of the Arusha type of moon sunstone because seeing the quality of it, Arusha is really, really nice. Really, pricey, but definitely worth it. And when I received my other mini Arusha mini sphere, I knew I just had to get another piece of this material. Moving on to the next is this Larimar slab. It's a type of pectolite found only in the Dominican Republic and is very sought out for. It is getting to a point now where it's almost mined out, and that's why I had to get this piece, because the quality of the Larimar left is dwindling. Although this small slab, the quality is higher than what I've been seeing now on the market. So I figured I better pick it up before it's all gone. Next is this smoky lodolite freeform. It's also known as garden quartz, and it comes out of Brazil. Lately, I've been just attracted to lodolite, mostly due to all the different inclusions, which creates uniqueness in every piece. It's like its own little world in there. And yeah, this one's obviously dark and moody, but also UV reacts, which I will show in a different video. And yes, I'm still planning to upload that fluorescence video of all my pieces that, has that sort of aspect to it. Then I unwrapped this aquamarine with green tourmaline inclusion mini sphere. It's not a high quality aquamarine, but I love the fact that it had green tourmaline inclusions, which is just fun and makes for a unique piece. Plus, it still gives off a nice little sheen here, so yeah. Now, next piece is a little different because it's a fossil of sorts, and that is this agatized shell fossil specimen. So when I state that it's agatized, it's to describe a fossil that has been replaced with chalcedony, which is a microcrystalline quartz. The process is called permineralization, where mineral-rich groundwater seeps in and replaces the organic tissues of either a plant or an animal with silica, which then forms a crystal cast. And voila, you got an agatized shell like this one. Alright, next I actually combined 4 pieces together because they're all the same. And it's my labradorite specimens, all 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And labradorite is a fairly well-known and is considered a staple crystal for collectors, which is odd that I don't have any until now in my collection, but I have it now. So, and the reason why I got 4 of them was just because they were such a great price. I couldn't, resist. So labradorite is a mix of plagioglaze and anorthite that displays an iridescent optical effect known as labradorescence. The effect of this iridescence causes a whole range of coloring to occur, and it was actually first found in Canada in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, hence the name. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright, so like I've previously mentioned, I've been super into Lodolite lately, and so I also grabbed another piece, but this one is in a mini tower shape and actually has silver rutile throughout, so I just really liked it and I thought it would go good with my little Lodolite collection I started. Alright, then for my next piece I have this pink opal, which is only found in 3 areas in the world. One being a mine in Idaho, USA, another is in Western Australia, and where this freeform is from, which is Peru. Pink opal is silicified palygorskite with pink veins of cryptocrystalline texture. This piece also has dendrites, actually. Dendrites are fossilized organic matter, such as plants, that has become crystallized within a crystal. So, yeah, mostly they come in black and look a little like branches of a tree, if you could see that there. Alright, then I unwrapped 3 of these fire quartz mini spheres, which is basically just clear quartz with hematite inclusions causing red streaking to occur. This type of quartz, for the majority, comes out of Brazil, and all 3 are just a little bit different to each other. This one being a more orangey red, this one being mostly clear with just a hint of a streak in the middle, and then the last one being more of a burgundy red. Next is this lanite small egg. It's sometimes referred to as Caesarastone, and it's a type of igneous rock known as a porphyritic rhyolite with dispersed amounts of this rare type of blue quartz and microcline feldspar phenocrysts, and only found in Llano, which is in Texas, in the United States. And yeah, I just thought it was cool, and I like the blue. Plus, I don't have many egg-shaped crystals. Then I have this petrified wood slab, which is a type of fossilized wood when the organic original material has been replaced by cryptocrystalline quartz, opal, coal, pyrite, calcite, or apatite. And yeah, so the different colors are just usually caused by iron, chromium, or vanadium. And yeah, this is just really pretty. I like the pinks, and I like the fact that you can, if you look closely, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can actually see it twinkle and sparkle because of the cryptocrystalline within. Alright, up next is this Sage Moonstone small sphere, and like the Arusha, Sage Moonstone comes only from Tanzania, Africa. I had a mini sphere of this material, but it was reconstituted, and which that means is that it's been fixed or remade in some way. So because of how this material can crumble and fall apart real easy, it's hard to carve and polish. And so you have to be careful of wholesalers selling reconstituted Sage Moonstone by using resin to fill in the holes and areas to keep the broken pieces together, kind of like a glue. But fortunately, even though my previous Sage Moonstone was reconstituted, this Sage Moonstone is completely free from reconstituted pieces. You could definitely tell if it is reconstituted if you have a black light, because you can see the glue glow or the resin glow. So yeah, I'm just happy to be able to get some more sage moonstone because it's becoming increasingly harder to find. And up next is this smoky quartz small sphere. I've talked about smoky quartz before. It's just a quartz with inclusions that turn the quartz brown, and it can range from like really dark to a light brown. And I had to pick this smoky sphere up because it was just a nice light smoky brown, which I don't really have really light ones, smoky quartz in my collection, but also just because of the incredible rainbows that it has. It's just great quality, and so I just couldn't pass it up. So this next piece is a mixed material, which is this amethyst with crazy lace agate small tower. A lot of amethyst is formed on agate, if not chalcedony, and so that's nothing new, but with crazy lace, it just happens to be a lot of banding, and this material I just think is really cool together and mixed, and it's not like it's glued on, like it's not two separate materials that's been glued or anything. It just comes this way because the amethyst has grown on top of the agate. Then I've got another mixed material small tower, but this time it's iolite with green apatite small tower. Iolite is a variety of cordierite and always comes in this very violet blue coloring. Then we have green apatite. So all apatite is basically a field term for unidentified calcium phosphate members within the apatite group as a whole. And this type of mixture of material here is just a relatively new find. It's not exactly gem-crade quality, but it still makes for a very pretty decorative carved stone, and I thought I'd just pick up, just a small tower of it. Then I unwrapped this Kambaba stone small tower, which is not my only Kambaba. I have another small tower of this material. However, the shade of green is different, just a little bit different, as well as the size of the dark swirls of circles. And that's one reason I decided to pick this up. The other reason was because the Kambaba was put on sale, so it was just a great price altogether. And so Kambaba comes out of Madagascar, Africa, and is usually sold as a type of jasper. However, it's not actually a jasper. Instead, it's a type of volcanic rhyolite, which is an igneous rock, not a variety of quartz, which is what jasper is. It's a microcrystalline, right? So two different types of rock. But yeah, still very cool looking. Next is something that is no stranger to my collection as a material, that being malachite, and I also decided to purchase this malachite slab. I have a good amount in my collection, and just malachite, usually alongside another crystal that is in a specimen. Malachite happens to be one of my top 5 faves. It's a type of copper ore and relatively common, yet still can be a little pricey due to its heavier weight because of it being from a copper ore. Then next is my ocean jasper with blue-gray juicy small tower. I already have ocean jasper as a large sphere and a different small tower, but grabbed this tower too because I just thought this blue and green tip here was just interesting and a pretty contrast to the rest of this pattern and color. This type of jasper is an orbital jasper and comes only out of Madagascar, this very specific type. Next is this black chalcedony stalagmite with pink stilbite growth specimen. I've talked about stalactites and stalagmites in different videos, where these crystals are formed in caves when mineral-rich water drips from the ceiling and creates a kind of icicle. And those minerals form themselves into this solid mass of crystal. And the water from that process forms another mass on the floor as well, where it drips onto. The ceiling crystal is a stalactite, while the bottom crystal is a stalagmite. So yeah, that is what this is. And stilbite is a variety of zeolite here, and is quite common, I guess you could say, while chalcedony is a microcrystalline, which again is just a variety of quartz. So really cool. Then I have here this candy fluorite medium sphere. The candy part is just a trade name for multicolored layered fluorite, which is what we have here. As you can see, we have layers of clear, purple, bluish, green, and even a hint of yellow. So fluorite is a very well-known crystal in the crystal community, I guess you could say, and comes in a wide variety and range of colors. What makes this fluorite stand out for me anyways is this effect of silver flash that kind of resembles adolescence, which is a moonstone feature of silver flash, even though it's not. But yeah, also the rainbows happen to just be quite stunning, so yeah, decided to pick it up. I've got a lot of fluorite though, but I love it. Next piece is this pink starburst quartz specimen. So starburst is just a term or trade name of a quartz flower that is opaque, and as you can see here, this is opaque. You can't see through it. It's got this milky tone to it, and actually a very, very, very light pink, pale color as well. So I just thought it was really pretty. Moving on next to this prehnite with epidot inclusion in druzy medium sphere. This was actually the first time I've ever seen prehnite in a sphere shape. I have two specimens in my collection, but I really liked this sphere simply because it has epidot inclusions, which is a common occurrence for prehnite, but both of my other specimens I have don't have any epidot within, so I just thought it was really pretty. Next is a material you've actually already seen in its raw form, but I have 3 more of labradorite freeforms this time instead of specimens. So these 3 pieces are very different in the coloring, and that's why I grabbed them. I wanted to have an array of different labradorite colors, and so yeah, I have this one, which has this yellowish, almost purple color to it. And yeah, it's definitely a nice gradient color. And then I have this one, which is a sort of reddish orange pink. And on this side, it's a very gold color, as well as my purple and orange freeform, which I just, look at that, beautiful. So yeah, I wanted an array of colors in my labradorite. Alright, now next is this blue coral fossil slab. I won't go into the fossilization process because I've already done so in regards to the petrified wood, which is basically the same process. So it's illegal to take and sell coral that hasn't fossilized. Just wanted to, put that out there in case you come across anyone claiming to sell coral that isn't a fossil, because then it's either fake, which is the most likely reason, or if it's not, it's still illegal to take. This blue coral fossil comes out of Indonesia, and you usually can see this sort of flower patterning here, which is just a signature staple of coral fossil. And I just liked the fact that it was blue and it just looked different. Next is this money jasper large sphere. Usually people refer to this as money agate. However, it's not agate because it's opaque, all of it. The money part is just a trade name, and the agate is just a mislabeling issue. So for what is essentially just orange appreciated jasper. So it is a jasper, so it is a microcrystalline. So it's not just a stone. It is a crystal, just opaque. And I do really like the contrast in the coloring with the orange, purple, and white, and the pattern as well. I think it's really pretty. Then I unwrapped this brown dogtooth calcite specimen. I just love the shape of these crystals and this deep amber color. Calcite is a very common widespread mineral with a variety of shapes and forms, and also comes in an array of colors. So I think it's like one of the most recognizable crystal out there. Very, very common, but very, very pretty. Okay, so we're almost at the end of the haul, only 3 more to go. So we're going to start with this topazite large sphere. This is a fairly new find and is a granitoid igneous rock known as a grayson, which is sort of like a mix of granite, quartz, and biotite that serves as a host rock for the growth of topaz. Depending on the climate, environment, and conditions the grayson rock can be found in. Yeah. The yellow here is the topaz. Alright, then the second to last piece is this purple-yellow fluorite large sphere. It's dark and moody, and I liked the gradient in the colors of the purple to yellow with this thin layer of purple in this yellow here. And you know me, I just love my fluorite, so decided to pick this beauty up. Now, we are at the last crystal, which is definitely a doozy, and that is this hefty smoky quartz cluster with phantom specimen, which, yeah, very much behemoth. This is what you'd call a statement piece, considering it's as long as my forearm. This is from Brazil and has very visible phantoms here, as if you could see that. Hopefully it gets picked up by the camera, and I'm just in love with it. So I'm just glad I decided to splurge a little because, yeah, this is just, I don't have many statement pieces, let's just say, so I'm glad to have this one. And that concludes this haul. So if any of these pieces spoke to you, you can go check out True North Crystal. This is where I purchased them. The link will be in the description below. I am planning to do 2 more haul videos, maybe 3, not too sure. But I am definitely doing the UV blacklight crystal video soon. After that, I will be actually on vacation, so I will be gone for maybe even a whole month. I don't know. This will be in November, but anyways, yeah, so I'll be gone then, but I'll still have videos coming out soon, and yeah, I think that's about everything. Bye!